Now today will be the hi-fi setup for 2020, and no, I do not plan the one every year. It just sort of happens. I've been doing it for the past 5 years, and each of those times I've thought that, you know, it's going to be permanent. But such is life, such is the nature of life. It's never permanent, something new always happens. Anyway, before I start my setup, I have something new to introduce, new for the setup itself. And it is a Pioneer SA720. And I had decided to get this because, first of all, I needed, you know, 2 inputs for the cassette, 2 cassette input outputs. And secondly, I'm not abandoning Senior Smiley, the Marantz amplifier, which I've had for, you know, many years now. Actually, that's going to be a secondary one. This is going to be the main amplifier. Don't forget to check out PCBWay if you're looking for custom PCBWay circuit building. I checked out their PCBs and found them to be of excellent quality, and I'm indeed considering them for a future project sometime. And judging by just how surprisingly fast the goodie bugs with their PCBs got to me, I know they have a fast service. Now in the last couple of setups, I used these 2 things. Switch boxes to switch between, you know, recording devices like the Onkyo cassette recorder, the mini disc recorder, the Tascam mini disc, and also the reel-to-reel deck, which is there. And I mean, I had to switch each of these and connect them into one input, one tape input. Now the great thing about this Pioneer SA720 is that it does have tape 2. It has tape 1, tape 2. So I can put 2 of the devices here. I'm thinking the Onkyo cassette deck and also the Tascam. Now the reel-to-reel, I'm thinking of putting it on the other one, the Marantz, and yeah, that's about it. The Marantz, I'm going to be using it, of course, as a secondary, as I said, so that'll have more inputs. I'm forever wanting more inputs. The mixing console was not enough somehow. Well, I said something to him, I guess. Now I've chosen this corner here as a dedicated place for the hi-fi setup, and I think it's a good choice because it'll end up being one of the main pieces of the room. Now I was aiming to put the entire hi-fi system, including the Technics 1210 turntable, on the stack itself. However, unfortunately, no, the Technics, it's quite big. So, you know, there was no other choice but to put it underneath the table, but that's not so much of a big deal. Most of the hi-fi is going to be on the stack in the corner. Now a bit about these. Both of these amplifiers are from 1981. This one is 38 watts per channel, left and right, and this one is 65 watts per channel. Now of course I'm not going to be running these at 38 or 65 watts, but the thing is, one thing I've noticed is that even at a low volume, you know, I don't know, I've always felt this. Whether it's true or not, I have no idea, but I feel that the higher wattage ones, even at a lower volume, sound a bit better. You know, this one, there is a distinct improvement in quality with this. I mean, I know that's not the only factor. The wattage is not the only factor, don't get me wrong. You know, it's the build of it also. And the thing is, I still don't want to let this go. As I said, I'm going to use this as a secondary one. You know, it's got 1 tape input, so I can use the reel-to-reel on this. And this one's 2 tape input, so I can use the Onkyo cassette deck and the Tascam mini disc recorder on this. And now I have a couple more inputs as well. I can actually use the tuner on this for the VCR, because I'm going to have a VCR now in the setup, as well as a DVD, you know, player. Now then, I've decided to include my old JVC back into the stack. Now that I have room for it, I can stack up. So my old JVC, you know, is now going to be in here. It needs a lot of work. That's the thing, it really does. It needs a recap and restoration, which I will do in future. Not now, I've got so much happening now with projects. However, we all know that Senor Onkyo over here beats the JVC hands down with regards to recording. So what I'm thinking of doing here is actually mostly using this for ferric or chrome playback, and this one mostly for recording, you know, because it's got 3 heads, it's got calibration, everything, you know, the works, and it's amazing. I think I'm gonna put Senor Onkyo right at the bottom because it doesn't need any work. It's had it, you know, its restoration done, and on top of that I will put the Pioneer. So let's do that for now. It's the only thing about these, they're big, clunky, and freaking heavy. Which I think I'll put the JVC at the bottom. It's just, I don't know, it's easier that way. I know it's gonna be hell to take it out once I, you know, need to restore this. But I want to put things here based on how I want things to be, not what needs restoring for, if you know what I mean. So, above this, I want there to be Marantz, Senior Smiley. And above this Marantz, I think I will put Senior Onkyo. And then above Onkyo, I will put the Pioneer. It's like a nice beautiful wall of silver now. And on top of all this, I will put the Tascam mini disc and CD. Yeah, definitely a much better setup. That seems to have a bit of a transition thing going because it's got a bit of black there. So now we start the fun. However, before we do, I gotta feed Neelix, or else he's gonna constantly badger me. So now for the fun part and the wiring up. And now this thing gets freaking heavy now. Now one thing good about the Pioneer is that it has these outlets which you can, you know, use for these. You can connect the other decks to. However, of course, I don't have the plugs for these, the right plugs for these, and I can't seem to find them anywhere. So if, I mean, I cannot even find them on eBay at least. So if anyone knows anywhere I can get these plugs, these AC outlets, then please do let me know. Comment below. Now then, the primary amplifier will be this one, and Onkyo, the Onkyo cassette deck, will be tape 1 on here. So let's connect that. I got some extra short cables, especially for this. The shorter the better, really. So we have the line out play, left, right, going into the line in play, left, right. Yeah, talk about confusing. And the rec goes to the rec, I think. It's not like MIDI in, out, out, in. I think it's play goes to the play, maybe. I can never get used to this, and I've set up hi-fi equipment so much throughout my life. I mean, it's easier on the Marantz, it just says in or out. So, decent quality cables. So the input is the record output. Goes to the mini disc input. Okay, that's these two connected. Now the aux in here, that's going to be the input from the mixing console. Input from there. The next is going to be the output from the Focusrite 2i2 is going to go in the tuner. Okay, so this phono input is going to be way too short. I mean, obviously it's not going to be direct to here, it's going to go behind. So I'm going to have to extend this slightly. extended the turntable with Technics. Put that into the phone. Oh, hopefully it won't make extra noise. I need to extend this stupid wire, this ground wire. It's annoying. Oops. I know there's a mod for this ground that you could just like put it in into the audio wire, but I'm not exactly sure what that involves. Check that out later on. System 1 more or less done. Just in all the stuff connected for it. Now System 2. For now, all I'm going to connect in System 2, which is going to be the Marantz, is this tape deck. Might as well just connect the record part of it also. Why not? So line out here goes to line in. So this is much simpler terminology. Now then, what I want to do is connect the aux here. Actually, maybe the tuner. The tuner here to the VCR. Got this very nice sharp VCR here with 6-head Nikon stereo. Well, it's gonna be if it's got 6 freaking heads. Hi-fi stereo. So you know, kind of gonna connect this, the back of this to it. Actually, what I'm gonna do instead, I do have a Samsung DVD recorder here. So what I might do is connect the VCR into the input of the DVD recorder and the audio from the DVD recorder into here. So, you know, at least then I have the DVD covered also. Because I plan to run this through the DVD player, which has a, DVD recorder, which has a HDMI output. So, you know, things become easier, I don't have to rely on SCART. So here we have a nice Samsung DVD recorder. It's the DVD HR737. It's got some nice interesting ports at the back here. And the really nice sharp VCR, which was my brother's. I'm going to use it. It was in his storage, so I thought, let's make use of it. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of connecting this directly, the output directly to the amplifier, the SCART output of this will go to the input of this AV1. And then what I'm going to do is HDMI out will go to the actual TV itself, the monitor, and the audio out here. I'm going to, make the audio out go to here. So I think it'll be much better this way. So the output of the DVD recorder, which when you set it will also be the output of the VCR, goes into the tuner here. And I think it'd be more wiser doing it from underneath and behind, because I'll have to take it up anyway. So this stuff is going to go at the bottom. Right, so this is behind from the DVD recorder. That'll go in there once I rotate everything around. It's just, so far it goes. Now the speaker system's going to be a little bit complicated. For now, I have the 2 Diamond 9.1, the Wharfdale ones, and I have the Yemo ones, the big ones. Now the Yemo ones I'm going to put on the Pioneer, for the time being, and the Diamond ones in here. However, what I want to do is make this into a project and create a, for a future project, create a speaker switcher. So I want either both of the Yemos, the Yemo pair and the Wharfdale pair to go into the switcher, and for each of these to go into the switcher, and switch between these two. These are kind of nice, these buttoned ones. Kind of find them a little easier than these. Like this one's got a headphone output in form of an RCA, which I don't understand. Probably saw it earlier on. This thing here. It's just like headphone outputs in the form of an RCA. Never seen that before. Just before I completely turn these around, I'll get the Wharfdale ones. The Diamond 9.1. And I'm going to Okay, so a little update here. We have an extra addition to the hi-fi setup, which has made it even freaking taller now. This thing's just climbing high. I don't think I'm gonna add any more, but this is, in case you don't know it, may have seen the video already. If you haven't, I'll link it in the description below, or the letter I over here. Anyway, I have a new 3-head cassette deck, an Iowa one, and this one I know there's a bit of a dilemma now. Now that I have a second freaking tape input, I decided to get a freaking another freaking deck. You know, I like to complicate things for myself, make my life even harder. So what I've decided to do is, at some point, I'm going to make a switch box, as in make one myself. A switch box between these two. So, you know, the input can switch between the Onkyo and the Iowa. Because I want to use both of them. I'm not going to ditch the Onkyo, I mean, it's too good. So I want to use both, or either or of them. Now this thing makes things a little bit more convenient. You know, I can just put my cassettes in there. Things I did as a teenager. Stickers and stuff. I would like to say a big thank you to all my patrons for all their support, especially to my top tier patrons: Electronscape, Axel Dominator, Rich Garboot, Camel Tech, Stephen Leary, and Chris Sabalenski. Your support makes a huge difference and means a lot.